Okay, and now would like to say some tips and advices about things you may not know when you suddenly deal with a zoo in front of you have completed, and there are things you have to know when you deal with it. First of all, the trimming. There are routes. Where do we have them? Here. Trimming. When you have the zoo, it will always have a section very close to the town, which is here. 6 action points from town, which is very, very close. And the second section is far away from the town. It's 11 action points. So, you have to send every 2 days, every other day, one tamer. Of course, we use tamer because tamers can find something in replenished zones and send it back, or if they are using, for example, water bombs, water pistols from faucet, if it's built, of course, it's unlikely in a serious town that it is built so early, because you don't want to have a bone so early. You want everyone alive. But if you happen to run into Indian burial ground and you have enough bones, you can have the faucet early. And tamers are the best class to clear with water pistols because they can send them back without any troubles. Of course, it doesn't matter which type of weapons you take, as long as you make this route, blue route, which we call trimming route, to keep the Z's control inside the zoo. Of course, this have been dealt with the next day. We just forgot it. So you have to send them every other day. And if you do not have search tower, you have to make sure that this tamer or survivalist or any class who will make this clearing do not make the complete run before right after the attack, before they finish the day. If they go like 1 hour after the attack, make sure they stay in a replenished zone all day long to auto-search in it, and not waste the entire 22 hours of auto-searching in a depleted zone. We have had so many who have made this mistake, and I hope none of you will make it. Just go, and if you are lucky, even without search tower, and you run into a replenished zone, you stay in it all day long, assuming you had enough ammunition to deal with any number of zombies you may run into, even if that may cause to leave the last 2 zones inside 6 AB range or 9 AB range with a few Zs in it. Just make sure to auto-search in a replenished zone and do not waste the entire time scavenging outside. Now about trimming, of course, in this particular example, you don't have to do trimming daily or other 2 days or other 3 days in this section here, as of west of the town, because it's very close to town. And of course, at this point we were still worried that the number of the Zs inside, it was about day 9 or 10, I don't know. So we had to have about 280 zombies inside this small section. And believe it or not, we did count it, and we were very close to it. So do not get greedy killing, or do not be fast clearing. Wait for the numbers to grow, and once they grow to, for example, in this map we built upgraded map, so once you have the entire zoo all blue, and you know in all zones you have at least 9 Zs in them, you can simply count down to the last Z, count exactly how many Zs are in there. There are a few tips about spread. Once you have a zombie zoo, inside the zoo, except from this section here, from the borders of the zoo, this and this here, inside this zoo, zombies spread only one single zombie each day if they are completely surrounded with Zeds. This means in this zone where we have 9 Zeds, the next day it will have 10, and in 3 days it will have 3 more Zeds, which means 12. The same with this building. We have 2 in them right now. Tomorrow it will be 3, not 4, not 5, not less, not more. Exactly 1 Z each day. Only when Z spread to a zone which does not have any Zs in it, it's not completely surrounded with 8 other zones, then and only then they can spread with more than 1 Z. They can spread with 2 or 3, or in some occasions, which I won't go into in this video, they can spread into more than 3. So to be very sure that you won't trigger a global respawn by killing too many Zs, you can count all Zs just by predicting how many zombies have spread overnight each day, and add them to the next one the next day. Of course, in this zoo in particular, it's very easy because, as you can see, we have sent a scout who sensed and updated all zombie zoos outside Watchtower level 3. So those zones which will not be which will be invisible for us to see the next day, I believe here, yes. We can simply predict how many Zs are inside because each day they spread 1 Z in each zone. So that's one tip. The second tip is which made this map and town entirely a very unlucky one. As you can see, we found a location of the town very close to the border, so we had no choice but to take a zombie zoo very close to town. Of course, we could have taken this, but we have a bunker, so we have to sacrifice and have one close to town. Now, why is a zombie zoo close to town? That close to town is bad. It's because of scavenging ground. When you have search tower, you pretty much have the chances of replenishment each day in one section of the zoo. For example, in this zoo there are 2 sections. One section that belongs to the west side, this line I guess, and the other sections is southwest, either west or southwest. So if the search tower hits those zones, you cannot go scavenging alone, and you cannot kill so much because it's so close to town. You have to be afraid of triggering global respawn. So what do? The best way to do it is to go scavenge in groups. Now, we are in this screenshots, we are, I guess, in day 8 or 9, I don't know. So starting from day 15 to day 25, you will face a problem that the zombie numbers will grow each day, and you will have problems scavenging in alone or in 2. So you will have to start scavenging in groups. Best is to send at least 2 guardians in each group, and whoever is in chat or waiting or wanting to join the group. Of course, not only one group can cover the entire search tower section which have replenished. You will need probably 2. So that's the annoying part about this. You have to coordinate, build a group, be in chat. Of course, being in chat is good, but after doing the hard work in the first 7 days, you don't want to do it another 20 days for the full length of the town. It's too much. So it's annoying to have one so close to town. We were forced to have one here. We didn't have a choice. But at the same time, we learned how to deal with it. And if you do not know this, you can scavenge in groups. Of course, all of them must have escort on. So when a zone depletes, you go to the next one with any hero who can move the entire group. Other than that, it's okay. And for souls, it's a small advantage in endgame that if a soul will land inside the zoo, you only have a handful of zones you have to kill or walk right through with a flash grenade to get the soul. You just send a scout to camp in one of those 2 campsites, or this one, these 3, which is very close to the zoo. And once people start dying and souls land inside the zoo, you send the scouts a few flash grenades, and he grabs the souls and brings them back or send them to a tamer. Other than that, zoo is the key to collect all 39 souls and have a decent town which can last for at least 30 days, probably more. Now, probably a few tips about how to manage scavenging and building. After everything, all blueprints have been opened, and you pretty much have a huge construction site, and you have to start building. Do not make the mistake of just going crazy, like building and having over 20 to 30 builders each day early, because that's one of the biggest mistakes also made by random towns or inexperienced metas who think that, okay, if I build and scrap, that's good. But the problem is, with working search tower, each scavengers can potentially find a watchman item which can boost the survival rate of the entire town for one more day. For example, one wire reel can build a guitar. This guitar over 10 days will provide 300 watchman defense, with some guard tower defenses at 360. So do not make the mistake of having many builders early. Start to build just to meet the attack if you can, and you have enough food to make builders eat, or have Ministry of Slavery, which will help give a huge boost in construction site. Then do not let many people build. And if you have to, for example, when you build False Tower or the Big Rebuild, those 2 projects which are over 700 action points to be finished without resources, with resources up to 950 action points. So you need more builders when the time comes to build them. But after that, try to send at least between 20 to 24 scavengers every day, and let the rest eat, drink, and build. And with it, and with some lucky, finding wire reels to build enough guitars, also some lucky RNG, finding some nice blueprints, you can boost the life of your town to at least day 28, maybe 29, defending inside the town. And of course, then you start endgame. That's pretty much it. I hope this could help. Of course, there are tons of infos I could actually say, but it's too much to record, and I hope those videos as a start can help.